Hey there, restaurant recipe lovers. Welcome back to The Daily Dish, a copycat.com podcast where I help you recreate your favorite dishes right in your own kitchen. I'm Stephanie Manley, and I've been serving up recipes since 1995. Now, before we dive into today's mouth-watering recipe, I want to express my heartfelt thanks to everyone who has been trying out our recipes and sharing those beautiful photos on Instagram and Facebook. Your comments about how these dishes have become family favorites truly warms my heart. And this really inspires me to keep on recreating your favorite recipes. As always, you can have the complete recipe with all the measurements and detailed instructions over at copycat.com. I've included a direct link in today's show notes, so no need to scramble for a pen. It's all right there waiting for you when you're ready to cook. Today, we are tackling one of a restaurant's favorite. It may seem fancy, but it's surprisingly simple to make at home, and that's Cheddar's Bourbon Glazed Shrimp. I've had many of you ask me for this recipe, and so I knew I had to get on down to Cheddar's and give this a try. Now, I know many of you have ordered this at Cheddar's Scratch Kitchen, and you know how incredible the sweet, tangy glaze is that makes the salmon absolutely irresistible. But guess what? You can make it at home for about a third of the restaurant price. Let me tell you, I had to work on this recipe for a while, and the secret is definitely in that bourbon glaze. But don't worry if you're not a bourbon drinker. The alcohol cooks off, and what you're left with is a wonderful caramelized flavor that pairs perfectly with salmon. And if you're wondering about what type of bourbon to use, no need for anything expensive. I have used Wild Turkey 101, but any basic bourbon will work beautifully. And honestly, since you are adding sugar and garlic to this, just grab something on the bottom shelf. It will be fine. What I love most about making this at home is that you can customize it to your family's preferences. If you're watching sodium, you can use reduced sodium soy sauce. If you prefer a sweeter glaze, add a touch more brown sugar. You're in complete control. Now let's talk about the salmon itself. Cheddar's offers a 5 and an 8-ounce portion, but at home, you can use whatever size works for you. The real trick to getting restaurant quality sear is to pat those salmon fillets completely dry with paper towels before cooking them. Trust me, this makes all the difference in getting that gorgeous golden brown exterior. Another bonus, you don't need a grill for this recipe. Just a good pan, just some olive oil. Let's talk about how you are going to make the recipe. In a saucepan, you're going to combine the bourbon, the dark brown sugar, the soy sauce, Dijon mustard, apple cider vinegar, Worcestershire sauce, and some minced garlic. You're going to bring this to a boil and then turn it off. Just put a lid on it while you start working on your salmon. So once you get your salmon, pat it dry with paper towels. You want it to be completely dry. And then you're going to add your seasoning, just some simple salt and pepper. You are going to grab a skillet. Now, I love to use a cast iron skillet. I think you get a really good sear with this. Add in a little bit of olive oil, let it heat up, and put your salmon into the pan. You're going to cook it on both sides. And just before the salmon is done, you are going to take a lemon and you are going to squeeze the lemon juice over the salmon. Then spoon on some of your glaze while it's still in the pan. Let that cook for a moment or two, and then simply plate it up and serve with additional sauce. It couldn't be easier. I think that finishing touch of the lemon squeeze over the salmon really adds a nice touch to the flavor. For sides, Cheddar serves this over rice with 2 of their sides, but you can pair it with whatever you like. I love it with garlic green beans or a simple broccoli cheese casserole. Both recipes you can also find on copycat.com. And if you're watching carbs, a cauliflower rice works beautifully as well. One final tip, if you have leftovers, this salmon reheats beautifully, but you have to do it low and slow. Just preheat your oven to 225 degrees. Drizzle a bit of water around the baking tray to keep the fish moist. Warm it for about 10 to 12 minutes. This way it won't dry out and you can enjoy that bourbon glaze magic for lunch the next day. But remember, you can find the complete version of Cheddar's Bourbon Glazed Salmon on copycat.com or by clicking the link in today's show notes. Until then, this is Stephanie Manley from Copycat.com, helping you bring the restaurant experience at home. Why go out when you can make it at home?